A to Z Mysteries, The White Wolf by Ron Roy. Chapter 5 today. The kids left the deck, past Wallace's fan and the flagpole, and walked into the trees. They turned and waved to Abby, who waved back. This looks like a trail, Dink said. Looking down, the kids kept their eyes on the ground as they moved deeper into the trees. Soon, Abby and the cabin were out of sight. The land was level for the first few minutes, then it angled sharply upward. The kids hiked in single file, with Josh leading and Dink last in line. Fallen trees, roots poking out of the ground, and jagged rocks made walking difficult. "I don't see any trail at all," Josh wailed when they stopped to look around. High above their heads, tall trees blocked out the sky. "I think we should just keep going up," Rose said. "If we get out of these trees, we might be able to see that one Abby showed us." They kept climbing. Dink could hear Josh and Rose taking deep breaths. He was sweating and swatting at mosquitoes. After about 20 minutes, Josh stopped. "It better not be much farther," he panted. "It's not. Look," Rose said. She pointed uphill behind Josh. "It's the dead tree," Dink said. "We're almost there." Look at them hiking. It took them 10 more minutes of climbing before they were standing at the base of the tree. Josh turned and waved his arms high in the air in case Abby was watching. Near the dead tree stood a pile of giant boulders. Behind the tree, the land sloped downward toward the cliff. "It's beautiful up here," Dink said. "You can see for miles," Rose said. "Look how blue the water is." "And look how dark those clouds are," Josh said nervously. "I sure don't want to be up here in a thunderstorm." The kids split up and walked among the rocks and boulders. It took only a few seconds for Dink to find animal tracks in the sand. "Guys, over here," he called. Josh and Rose found him on his knees. "Look, are these wolf tracks?" Josh and Rose knelt next to Dink. "They do look like paw prints," Rose said, studying the sandy ground. Josh put his own hand next to the paw print. "Look how big these tracks are," he said. Rose pointed to some shoe prints. "Do you think these are the kidnappers' prints?" she asked. "Maybe," Dink said, "but other people must come up here too." The kids prowled among the rocks. They found animal tracks, but no more from humans. Josh stopped in front of 2 rock slabs leaning against each other. Beneath the rocks, a burrow had been dug, leaving a mound of loose dirt. "Guys, I think I found the dam," Josh whispered. The kids knelt and peered down into the dark lair. "What if the mother wolf is down there right now?" Josh asked. Suddenly, they heard a wolf howl. All 3 kids jumped back. "Run!" yelled Josh. "She's not down there," Rose said. "Look!" The mother wolf was standing on top of a pile of boulders, about 100 yards away. She was watching the kids with her ears standing straight up. While the kids looked at her, she let out another howl, then leaped off the rocks and disappeared. "What should we do?" asked Josh. "Nothing," Dink said. "I think she's just looking for her babies. Let's move away from her lair in case she comes," Rose said. Dink and Josh followed Rose. They walked toward the cliff and stood looking down at the ocean. The ground there was too rocky to show any kind of prints. "Oh, I'm sorry about that. I wonder how that man and woman got the baby wolves out of here," Dink said. "In a cage," Josh reminded him. "Remember what Abby said?" "I know, but what did they do with the cage?" Dink asked. "Cars can't drive up here, so how did they get the cage away?" "By boat, maybe," Rose said, pointing down at the ground. "Look!" Not 5 feet away from where they stood, a narrow path led down toward the water.